Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a monstrosity bill, and if passed, we will come to regret. It is cynical to say that this House of Representatives should vote for this bill because they are good features, and therefore we should ignore the damage it will inflict on our constituents and our community. Those of us who represent urban districts should not be fooled into believing that this bill will do anything about critical shortage of affordable housing in our district. Quite the contrary. It is a bill which seeks our support in the name of creating affordable housing, while allowing predatory developers to reap windfall profit and avoid the local planning and zoning commission. This bill is bad public policy, whether you represent an urban district, as I do, a suburban district, of a rural area of a diverse state. Connecticut has always valued home rule and the principle of local control. As a state, we have historically rejected the type of one-size-fits-all that we have before us in the confusing and difficult to understand language of this omnibus bill. Home rule is not a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. It's the foundation of self-governance in this state, which is called the Constitution State. Connecticut is called the land of steady habit because we do not traditionally accept every radical idea that is currently in style. This bill will be the end of home rule, local control, and municipal government. Well, I believe that this is one size fits all. Only this time, the target is the quality of life in our cities. And people will say, maybe questioning, why Representative Gonzalez, that she lives in a poor community and represent poor people, why she is complaining, or why she has different opinion? Well, with all the respect, I really don't believe that this is just to help poor people. Because this bill, in my opinion, doesn't help and doesn't resolve the problem, the poor people. I've been here 29 years, and it gets to a point that I'm tired of listening. Well, this is for the poor people. We gotta help the poor people. And in the end, we don't see nothing. Nothing happened. Look at my district. Nothing happened. And I do have a problem with this. I express opposition to Bill 5002 and that concerning housing and the needs of homeless persons, while the intent to improve housing affordability and address homelessness is commendable. This bill raises serious concern that merit careful reconsideration. As member of the General Assembly, we are charged with protecting not only statewide interests, but also the voice and integrity of local governance. This bill compromises both. House Bill 5002 set a precedent for state outreach into local zoning decisions, especially by mandated high-density development near transit and urban corridors, that I would like to see that. Connecticut is a state of diverse communities. What works for Stamford or Greenwich may not appropriate for Bridgeport or New Haven. By centralizing zoning power in Hartford, this bill disenfranchises local planning authorities and the constituents we represent. I urge this body to respect the principle of home rule, a long-standing pillar of Connecticut governance. Local leaders and residents deserve meaningful input in decisions that reshape the neighborhood. This bill fails a realistic funding mechanism for the infrastructure upgrade required by increased density road, sewer system, school, and emergency services will all be impacted. Without sufficient state support, municipalities will bear the financial burden, passing costs to the taxpayer. What is ironic, while House Bill 5002 seeks to aid low-income individuals and the homeless, poorly executed upzoning in urban areas has been shown in other states to accelerate gentrification. And I think that this is a very important point. I remember maybe 25 years ago, I went to a meeting in Hartford, and for some reason, somebody was talking about gentrification. And in my community, everybody got upset. Everybody was asking questions. And I think that at that time, the powers to be, when they find out that somebody leaked about gentrification, they were concerned. And then suddenly they stopped. But then you have here two sides of the coins. I can say, and I can see gentrification on one side, and then on the other side, I see that this bill kind of force cities and towns for more affordable housing. So it is two different issues here, but really both of those two issues really affect. This bill lacks meaningful safeguard to prevent this cycle from repeating here. I urge this body to consider alternative legislation that safeguarding communities from unintended consequences and ensuring fair legislative process for the people of Connecticut. Our constituents deserve thoughtful, balanced solution, not blunt instrument, and that threaten the fabric of our cities and towns. And now I'm going to tell something that it happened a couple of days ago. And because people know me that I am very upfront. I don't hide when I have to say something. And sometimes I get in trouble for that. But it is okay. I welcome that. But I heard a conversation a couple of days ago from a developer. And I will say more. The developer was from East Hartford. And he was telling this lady, well, yes, we're going to build these 24 units, and we're going to control who is going to qualify for these units. And he said, and also, and then he turned around and he said, also, we're going to control how many kids are going to be living in those units. My question is, if this is for low income, or this bill really benefit the developers? I would like to say how they will control that. I don't know, because I was going to ask, but again, I just heard the conversation, and sometimes they said that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? But I think that I was in the right place at the right time when I heard that. And that really got me upset, because this is a way how they can convince the poor people that this is the best way to go. Let's convince the poor people. Let's convince the minority people, because this is for their people. But what I heard, I don't think so. These developers, they will control who qualify for this apartment, and how many kids. How many kids? He said, and we're going to control how many kids we're going to have in this building. So this bill leave me a bad taste in my mouth, because this bill was supposed to resolve the housing problem, not to benefit the developers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.